a champ, that's the king. Pendlebury, take off like Dacos. Give the man a chance. The fly we trust, yeah, that's real. Ain't a bottom side, nah, that's still.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to Moving the Magnets Part 2. We are proudly sponsored by TSNL Neon, Melbourne's trusted signage specialist for commercial, LED and neon signage. For more information, the link is in the description. Happy Fridays, ladies and gents. 2 days away, just a little over 2 days away from the first bounce. I'm still reluctant to call it first throw. I'm still going to be calling it center bounce. I don't know whether that will change anytime soon. It just sounds right. Center bounce, even if it's going to be a throw. But anyhow, I digress. Guys, we are not too far away from getting the final teams, and the Magnets have been well and truly thrown around again since the press conference with Fly McRae earlier today. So let's have a look at this Predictor 23, where we are. Once the team's announced, we'll have a bit of a chat and go from there. Let's go share screen. So go here. We'll just get straight into it, won't we? So we keep refreshing here to see if there's any updates. No updates just yet, right? So the extended bench is still there. But what we do know, what is factual is, and you know what? Let me just remove this and do this again. Bear with. Stop screen because it's not doing it the way I want it to do. Let's go share screen, Chrome tab. Here we go. I think it'll be better. I mean, it kind of looks better. It's a bit smaller. Can I make this bigger? Maybe I do this, guys. Teresa, I think the teams will be formally announced at least in the next 15, 20 minutes. And also, we should see something on Twitter as well come out. I mean, normally moments before the teams get officially announced, we'll get something through, as Xander Maguire or something as such. But this is where we were just yesterday, I believe, guys, right? And we spoke about it earlier in the week when we were really going through the possibilities of this Predictor 23. And we did say there's a world where we don't see Cochrane because we've played with just Frampton as the kingpin in the back line. We've done that. Maybe it was against Adelaide or something, if I remember correctly, guys. And there would have been a couple of other games where we played without a Jeremy Howe and or a Darcy Moore. Also, Billy Frampton also. So there's been times where we've gone really short, and that's when the system is the most important time. Absolutely imperative to be firing on all cylinders, because if that system's not working, then this back six is admittedly going to have a hard time. But based on the interview with Fly today, Cochrane and Steen will not debut. So we need to reassemble these, juggle around these magnets. So we'll take them out. So they're close, but not close enough, okay? They back DC to go against TDK and Rowan, and then they also back our back line. I need my Papa Hayes in full forward. I like Hazy, and I like his chances to get a number of opportunities this season, but it's obviously won't be on Sunday because he's not even on the extended bench. But we have 2 spots available. So, and we also have Parker. Sorry, Parker was in our Predictor 23 yesterday because he's here. So it really, and Alan was also in it as well. So because on the team list, Parker's on the field, so there's no doubt that he will be playing. There's also no doubt that we'll say DeGoey. So just for the sake of knowing that these guys are playing, we'll put them on the starting side. And then ultimately it comes down, I think it comes down to these 2 guys, really. I don't think Ned Long's spot is in jeopardy. No way. Could be wrong. But is he on the field or is he listed on the bench? I mean, it would be a bit of a surprise, but Ned Long is on the bench. I'd be very surprised if he doesn't get named, considering it was Ned Long. He's proven in many ways, and also he was our best player against North Melbourne, in my opinion. So now we're left with this, guys. We have Lockie Sullivan and Rowan Steele. So who plays? And surely we can make a case for both players. Like Sullivan probably offers a little bit more versatility. He could play wing, he could play in the midfield, and he can play in the forward line. And I know Rowan Steele kicks goals also in the sample in the VFL. So it's an interesting case. That Rowan, I think Sullivan's a few years older, so maybe that's worth consideration. But I will make a poll in the chat on my phone. Let me just do this here. Steele has to play, says Murphs. Yeah, look, if I had to guess, I would say that Rowan Steele just gets over Sullivan, but I would not be mad in the slightest if Lockie Sullivan gets an opportunity. Can I make a poll here, or do I have to do it on the computer? Computer it is. It's a computer job. Okay, so if we go here. Last year, a player was named on the field and ended up not getting picked. I do remember that, Peter. I do remember that, and I mean that is very rare. We can I guess be conscious that that doesn't really happen very often. Like that was a bit of a surprise. I forget what game it was, but it was later in the season, wasn't it? Who plays? Is there a world where Lipinski gets dropped? Again, I would be incredibly surprised, Cruz, if he gets dropped. I think he's been a great performer in the preseason, and he had a pretty good season last year. And I thought he was really good in the midfield against North Melbourne. So I'd be very disappointed if he doesn't play. Very disappointed. Memos, what's going on? Ella Manny, lift. We're here. All right, start poll. Who plays, Rowan Steele or Lockie Sullivan? The poll is live. And then cheeky little refresh. We're not there yet. I check Twitter. I refresh there. Do I see anything? Teams aren't set until the sheet is handed in 1 hour before the game. That's not true. Sundays, typically, you get the teams coming out in the next, 10 minutes. If it's a Sunday game, they have to hand in their final teams. Boomer, I think you're off the mark there. I think you might just be off the mark there. Can somebody confirm that? I'm pretty certain 5 p.m. Friday for a Sunday game is usually what we see. So they both play. Allen won't. Well, again, Allen is on the field in this. So I'm mindful that if he's on the field, he's more likely to be in the best 23 than not. Sully has been solid. He hasn't he? Allen will play, says Des. Yeah, I tend to agree with you there. 5 p.m. today is correct. All right, beautiful. Good. I was hoping I wasn't tripping there. 67% of you say Rowan Steele will play over Lockie Sullivan. It does seem the likely one. But once again, wouldn't be overly disappointed if Sullivan gets a run over Steele. But if someone like Lipinski gets dropped, I'll be like, wow, where'd that come from? I thought 5 p.m. is extended squad. Saturday 6:20 is final 23. I don't think so. We've already got our extended squad ESC. So yesterday we got our extended squad, and then normally, guys, it's been pretty standard procedure. I think for the most part, throughout the course of last year, maybe barring King's birthday, if you have a Sunday game, you will get the final 23 Friday afternoon. So look, we'll stick around for however long, and let's see. Yeah, let's keep an eye out for the teams. Extended squads 48 hours before, 1 hour before game, final changes. So Rick, here's the thing, right? You will get your final 23 with your emergencies there as well. And then you finalize an hour before the game that, yes, this is our final 23. So this extended bench that we see here will reduce to a 5-man interchange plus emergencies. So, for example, if we go back here, let's say Steele gets the nod. Why is that moving up and down like that? Go away. Steele gets the nod. It'll probably look something like this. You'll go Sullivan, Steen, Cochrane as the emergencies. Why is that scrolling up and down? Go away. Ramish, how you going, brother? These Friday streams are the shit dreams are made of as a Pies lunatic. I'm so bloody eager. Just got the meat and beers for the game. Mate, can't wait. Can't wait. Yeah, this is, it's Friday. It's Friday. Most of you, I imagine, would be clocked off at this point in time or having a cheeky listen as you're finishing off. Zaza, I want Allen in. Like I said, if Allen and Lipinski aren't in the squad, I'd be very surprised. Murphs, Steele will play on the wing and Sadi will be forward way more. Parker will be back, so I think it makes sense. That it would make sense, but sometimes the teams that come out there's always a little bit of a last second sort of stitch up. Sometimes. Do you think Lippy and Long both don't play on Sunday? Nah, there's no way they don't both play. No way. No way known. They should both be playing. Melissa, how are you? Hey everyone, so stoked for Sunday night. Let's go Pies. I wish I could just close my eyes and get us to Sunday ASAP as soon as possible. That's not quite happening. Ramish, I've got half an hour left, but to say I'm not earning my money would be an understatement. No one needs tech support this time. There you go. Are you sure the teams are coming out soon? I thought it's not for another hour. I'm pretty certain because we've done this before. We did this all last year. Friday for a Sunday. Normally the teams come out. So the teams will come out and we should get interchange shortened, and those players who don't make the interchange will be considered as emergencies. Parker to play a defensive role against Higgins. I don't love that. But out of Houston, Josh, and Parker, maybe that's the best assignment we have because you got Fly and Ryan, you got Sharman, you got Owen. So Perryman, Brazier, and Quaynor will all have their hands full with players who have they're not only like they're more aerial dominant players in the forward line. So you've parked up. Now I back myself in. I reckon we'll find out if they play Harrison. They won't play Harrison because he's not on the extended interchange. So he will definitely not be playing old mate HH. So yeah, what are some other like key matchups? We're talking about when Naz plays forward. I figured that the best player for Naz in the forward line will probably be Quaynor, and then maybe Perryman. What are some other matchups that you guys have an interest in? What do you think? Is there anything that's screaming out to you that how's this going to work, or this sounds like a good matchup, so on and so forth? All right, check Twitter again. So, thing is, I call X Twitter. I always call X Twitter, and just like the center bounce, how it's center throw, I think I'm just going to live with calling the center throw a center bounce. I can't help it. Cannot help myself here. Also, you guys who are here, I will let you know if Collingwood win, we'll be doing a giveaway for 2 $150 grilled gift cards. So if Collingwood win in the post-game show, I will give away two grilled $150 gift cards. Okay? So hopefully if we win, hopefully we see you in the post-game show, and hopefully some of you will, but one of you here will walk out with some big dinners at Grilled. Des Carter, I think Cochrane will be a while off a debut unless there is a disaster, especially with Moore not far off returning. Yeah, and Jeremy Howe also. So if there was ever an opportunity for Joel Cochrane, it's now. And if it gets delayed and all things go well with Jeremy Howe and Darcy Moore, yeah, it might not happen until much later in the season, which makes sense, doesn't it? Refresh. 501. Talk to me. Refresh. What? Teams are out. Here we go. I told ya. Teams are out. Lipinski, Pendles, Ad Allen, Jack Buller, Ned Long. Emergencies, Steen, Cochrane, Sullivan, and Rowan Steele makes the final squad. So they're your 3 subs or emergencies. And then, as we thought, and as the poll suggests, Rowan Steele makes it on the wing. What's my grilled order, bro? I can't think of any off the top of my head. I can't say I go there a great deal. But I guess a double beef with bacon, some chips, and I think they do onion rings as well. So normally that's my go. Yeah. When do you think Steen makes his debut? Not too sure. Not too sure. Wait and see, I guess. Fly said in his pre, yeah. So Cochrane and Steen, is that what you're referring to, Melissa? That they won't be playing, which is the case. Speed over height. Void was right. He called it. There you go. For the most part, I'm pretty happy with the team, I guess. It depends how the game plays out. Yeah, there's Nettles. There he is. Never in doubt. Never in doubt. Would love to see some midfield for Mr. Bugsy McCreary, hopefully. Fingers crossed. And I mean, Crisp is listed in the midfield, but how much that will happen, I'm not too sure. I think he's being sarcastic, Zaza. I think he's being sarcastic. I think he's like, yeah. I think we're all pretty happy with this team, no? This is the best we could have possibly fielded. Memory deserves an opportunity over West, and that's the way it is. Who do you think will be backup ruck, Buller or McStay? As much as I hate McStay in a ruck, it can't be Buller. I don't think it can be Buller. I think McStay will have a hand in there. I think DC will play a lot of ruck, of course. And I think Ned Long will help with some stoppages around the grounds. I reckon Ed Allen might play a bit of wing to roll into the back line and give some height as well. It's as good as we can be, yep. Manny, yeah, I think Ed Allen wing to help us with the back line. Manny. That's what I think it is. That's what I think the play is. And then, as I said, Ned Long will do some, ball ups around the grounds to help out when needed. In Frampton, we trust. Full back, the Undertaker of our side. Tribal Chief, there he is. Yeah, that's our guy. All in on Billy Frampton this Sunday. Our defense being small isn't on Allen, not when Cochrane is our defense being small isn't on Allen, not when Cochrane is the choice. How do you mean? Ed Allen will roll down as a defensive winger, is what I'm trying to say. A few blokes will be playing tall, yeah. And as MD, how are you? Welcome. I think Fly, as he said it in his presser, there will be times where we're going to look short, and we kind of saw that against GWS and North Melbourne anyway. So we know what that looks like. But if we play our brand and assert our system onto the Saints, it's less of a problem. It's a short-term problem as long as Darcy Moore and Jeremy Howe get fit. Reckon Steele's going to be strutting around the park as the big dog centre forward. Could you imagine? Sitting on shoulders. Show us something we haven't seen from him before. Yeah, hopefully ideal conditions. Yesterday wasn't so much the case. It looked clean, but it was very dewy, wasn't it? Particularly in that first half between Swans and Carlton. Who plays on Marshall when he goes forward? Probably Billy Frampton, right? Billy Frampton, and then Bruz plays on Cooper Sharman. Quaynor can see a bit to that. They're going to stretch us. Like, you can see what they've... Look, Philippou, who will play some mid, but he's 6'3", 6'4". He can play forward as well. Owens is relatively tall. So they're not going in very short, that's for sure. They are not going in very short. This is a team where, yeah, they can stretch us. How good was... You would have loved that, Manny. Matt Bull's going to kick 8? Fuck. Could you imagine? I don't know if he's got that in him. I think he's got that competitive edge, and that's what we'll love about Jack Buller. And he presents really well. He works hard, all these sort of things. So that's what we're hoping for. Quiet. My guess of Sydney. Oh, yeah, Sydney by 10 goals. There you go. Good shit. Good shit. Mate, if Buller kicks 8, it's flag pies. Flag pies to the moon. I saw that in the documentary, Rick. Last year, Collingwood went to Mount Buller. This year, Mount Buller came to Collingwood. That's very true. If I see McStay in defense, I will vomit. Well, he does float back there sometimes, particularly late in the quarters. So we will see McStay in that way in the back line when it's late in some quarters, trying to kill the end of these quarters. I'd be surprised. Yeah, Joshy, these are the team. This is the team, brother. Can you see the team here? I hope Shooter has a cracking. I think we're all batting for Shooter, mate. We all love him, don't we, MD? Yep. They chose Roan over Sully. Do we beat St Kilda? I can't see it. Says Michael. I think you should go in with a level of rational optimism. I think you can't not go into the game thinking we can't win it. I couldn't tell you margin. I couldn't tell you how we get it done. But like, yes, Saints on paper look good. Yes, the Saints are tipped to be one of those teams who catapult into the finals. But they have to do it first. Like, they need to build these pillars to grow the legs on this narrative that's being generated. And yeah, it starts with beating Collingwood if they can. But tell you what, Pies love these stories. These aren't like, we're almost being treated as the underdogs. So lean into it and see what happens. Chris Talbot cannot wait to see Buller play his first game for the Pies. Me either, mate. Me either. Is anyone like nervous yet or getting the pre-game jitters or whatever you want to call it? I don't feel it yet. I feel like it's so far away. Hey, Janet. Yeah, there's nothing I can do about the ads. I mean, I've got it on balanced, the ads, which obviously helps with the monetization of the channel. So, yeah, it's a difficult one to work around. I see Carlton's fan base already asking, Pies by 46 says chronological. Ella. Collingwood love being underestimated. I mean, yeah, but how many times have we been in this position? Murphs, I feel like it's almost a free hit. It's so early in the season. And I think because we've been here so many times the last few years in opening round, and we've seen the worst outcomes for the Pies in opening round, and we've seen us bounce back. So we'll have that level of temperance, I guess, understanding that this game isn't the be all end all, but the difference with the Saints, with their inexperience, you'd have to think, okay, they're playing at the G in front of 90,000. They've got pressure to take the next step in their development. I would argue that they would feel this game is more do or die for them than it is for us, which hopefully works into our favor. It's like their level of anxiety would be higher going into this game compared to the Pies, I think. What time is the pregame? I think we're going to do it at 12 p.m. I think 12 p.m. is going to be the pregame because I've got a barbecue leading into the game. So hopefully you guys can make it for the 12 o'clock pregame show on Sunday. Last year, we were in the same spot with the All In chat. Yeah. We did all right with the All In chat, though. We did all right. So we've been there before. Badri, I think the expectations not being extremely high lightens the pressure this time around, not feeling any nerves. Yeah, I feel that. I feel that from a playing perspective, for sure. Smell burning Blues membership, says Boomer. It's funny. We love pressure. It's all we do. We are all good. And that's the beauty of our game. We build our game on pressure, and we're able to maintain it for 4 quarters, which gives us a chance in every game. And as long as you got Bo, Lockie, Billy in that forward 50, defending from the front, I think it makes such a difference. Like when you miss Shooter or you miss Bo McCreary last year, it hurt us defensively, defending from the front, didn't it? I remember that vividly. Without their presence, man, we look a shell of ourselves defensively sometimes without them. Janet, you going to the game? That's huge. Huge. Public holiday Monday. Trust you to be out till the early morning after we win, Janet. What's it going to be? The Corner Club Hotel, the Precinct, Public House. What's it going to be, guys? The moment we win, the pressure begins. Exactly. Once people realize, oh shit, they're there again. They're there again. If that happens, then yeah, I'm sure the compiling pressure on that narrative will gain some traction. We're in the nosebleed section. Unreal, MD. Do you think McCreary plays midfield on Sunday? I think he will play midfield. Maybe if I would say 30% of his game will reside in the engine room, I think. What do you reckon, Chris? What's your split? Yeah, Bo plays the mid for sure. For sure. Yes, ma'am. Joshy, I feel all pressure on Saints as if we've been underestimated, kind of like the final against the Crows. Feels a bit like that. When we went into that qualifying final against the Crows, I felt like we had less pressure that game than we did going into the home and away game against Adelaide. I felt like the pressure was the barometer or the pressure meter on the Pies was at its highest going from was it Brisbane or Hawthorn? Going from Brisbane or Hawthorn into Adelaide in the home and away. I felt more pressure in that towards that game than I did going into the qualifying final. Do you guys agree? We can get away with Frampton to Marshall, Maynard to Sharman, Perryman to Owens. Yeah, but then you got Philippou as well who can roll forward, Naz. So yeah, there'll be some puzzles to put together. But Marshall's not is he a proven forward? Like, how many goals has he kicked in his career? I mean, obviously that's probably misleading because he does still play ruck. So even if we check how many goals he's kicked and whatnot, it might not be an accurate reflection of what it could be on Sunday, right? Love to see the Pez take Naz. I think Pez is probably too slow playing on a Naz in the back line, especially if it's goal square. I'd like to see IQ on Naz first in the forward line whenever that opportunity presents itself. That's how I feel about that. Yeah. Does anybody want to jump on and talk about anything here? I'll put out the link if any of you want to jump on and have a quick yarn. Jump on for a chat. If anyone wants to talk and about anything Collingwood related, then the link is there. Totally up to you guys how you want to go about it. You feel Quaynor on Sharman? Oh, that's a good thing. Quaynor can play multiple different players. Who's on the field at any given time? How's the game being played? Do we need Quaynor deep? Do we need him higher up the ground? These are things we'll consider, won't we? These are the things we shall consider. But even like Fly and Ryan, guys, he's listed on the interchange. This is someone, when he's in the forward line, he's given us some trouble at West Coast. So their medium forwards are gonna trouble our medium defenders as much as our medium-sized defenders will trouble their medium-sized forwards. So that would be an interesting one for sure. Jack Higgins. They've got high hopes for is it Max Hall? Is it Max Hall? Or is it Boxall? Boxall, I think it is. One of those two players. One of them is a small forward who can play mid as well. Yasu Andoni. Weird take, but could McCreary play on Naz? At centre bounce, I definitely think McCreary can play on Naz. He's built his game on defense, McCreary. So as much as he can be an offensive weapon from the centre bounce, I would entertain the idea to see what Bo can do on Naz at centre bounce. The problem is Bo will not have the same engine as Naz around the grounds. That's the problem. Max Hall is going to be a jet. Perriman to tag. Interesting. I don't know if Bo doesn't have the tag. So I was saying Ramesh. Can't see the team. Who's on our bench? What do you mean? Can you guys see the team? You mean like you can't see because your eyes aren't that good, or is it not on the screen? Let me check my stream. Are you talking about the emergencies? The emergencies are Oscar Steen, Cochrane, and Sullivan. Out from our prelim final, Cox, Howe, Myercheck, Moore, in, Allen, Buller, McStay, Parker. Yep, it's in screen. Cool. Hard to see on the phone. You know, guys, for those of you on the phone, a little tip, you can zoom in. You can zoom in to see the team with your hand. You can pinch it. So you can do that. Just if you are watching it on your phone, you can pinch the screen to see. It's small if you're watching on a phone, but that's on us who are slacking. Oh, yeah, you got to get in front of a TV. It's in screen. Will Parker will be on a Higgins, I feel. That's what it seems like. That's probably one of the options. I got you, Memos. Don't worry. I got you. Whoever plays on Higgins has to be in his shadow and not give an inch. A lot of the forward play goes through him. Yeah. Will Parker, Quaynor might even get a look at sometimes. Perriman, like that. One of our greatest strengths as a team is how diverse our team is in general. But our medium-sized defenders can play tall and small. We've relied on them so heavily, and they deserve their raps, and they got that in the Copeland Trophy. Perriman and Quaynor both top 5 BNF in our Collingwood Copeland Trophy count for good reason. They're very severely underrated in what they do for us, and I'm sure all of you, anyways, would see that. We live and breathe the black and white at VFL and AFL levels, so it wouldn't come to a shock for us, but it was a shock for some people on the outside looking in when they see Quaynor's and Perriman's stats. It's not that's the intangibles that get them that top 5 finish. Parker likes to play aggressive and hunt the ball, which will leave Higgins out the back. He has to be accountable. Let's earmark that, Rick. Let's remind ourselves about this conversation this time on Sunday evening. So, yeah. Lift, Ella Dim Sim. Dikanis, mate. Dikanis. What else have we got? You think Perriman will play on Naz on Sunday? Maybe. In the midfield or in the forward line? Or both, Chris? You reckon that's the one? Could happen. I need glasses and I'm in denial about it. Don't worry, Mick. Don't worry, Mick Ali. Stats are so far from everything. I take 18 Houston touches over 30 Jack Steels. Yeah. Good. I mean, context is important, but of course that 18 good touches from Houston it could be huge. I can see us leaking goals without how Dula. I can see that as well. Can see that happening. It just depends how we play ultimately. I actually learned the pinch and zoom a few weeks ago after so long struggling to see shit on the phone. I've even mentioned it here. Old people. At least you've got it all figured out now. So no dramas, hey? I feel Parker is more defensive minded and needs to play a bit more aggressive. We'll see. We'll see. He's played less than 15 games at AFL level. So there's a few things he needs to do to truly grasp the game at the level. That's for sure. Yeah. Just looking at that team and seeing if there's anything else that's really worth noting. When Josh Dacos listed in the back line, I'm sure we'll see some of him there, some of him in the midfield. Which pair is better, Cox and Myercheck or Buller and McStay? Stephen, great question. Good thing we don't have to and ah about that. We can get the verdict on that and begin our verdict on it as early as this Sunday. 10-goal win, you reckon, Dim Sim? Ella, I like that. With you there, MD. This thing is, my glasses need an update. Thing is, when I pinch to zoom, it does blur a little bit. Yeah. How much do you think we will struggle without Moore and House as Choi Blong? What I've been saying all week, without Darcy Moore and Jeremy Howe, remember we've done it with only one recognized key tall defender multiple times last year to great success, specifically early in the season. If they move the ball really well against us, it's going to be difficult to defend and we will look small. But if we play well, if we play our game, if we own the forward half, if we turn over the ball in their back half, you'll hardly even realize that it's a problem. The BMW. Ella BMW. Righto. Yeah, Howe's his spoiling ability is second to none. You'd be hard-pressed to find someone better than Jeremy Howe in this league who can spoil the ball as good as him. Maybe Harris Andrews is right there as well. Who do you think will be on limited minutes as rotations haven't started last night? We saw Swans choose Papley. Good question. It's tough. Maybe... Jeez. Is there an obvious one? Who will be on limited minutes on Sunday night, given Papley was on limited minutes, if that's the way we go? I would say Ed Allen, maybe. Will Parker, Rowan Steele. I think that might be the one. Pendles is a good call from Dim Sim because Pendles was rested early in the season. All I've heard is a Saints this, Saints that. We love being underestimated, and it's their 60th anniversary since their last flag. I thought we spoiled Bulldogs' anniversary game last year, if I'm correct. You're right, one-eyed magpie. I like that mindset. There's a lot of pressure on the Saints. Arguably more pressure on them than it is for us with specifically this game anyways. They're going to be a lot more anxious. We're more used to the MCG. We're more used to the big games. They're going to feel the perceived pressure of needing to take the next step. We're already where they probably want to be. But that can change. Like the narrative will change every week. But speaking within reason, that's my mindset. Isn't it crazy that Howe was promised as a 4 gig by Bucks to lure him over and has turned him into what he has? He swindled him. Bucks. Love that. Steen and West are stiff to miss. Yeah, they're stiff. They're stiff, but they'll get their chances. Reason behind limiting minutes? Well, the problem is you have 5 on interchange now rather than a sub, but you have the same amount of interchange. You can only make the same amount of interchanges. I think it's 75 interchanges per game. So you have to be careful not doing too many rotations. And obviously, if you factor in a 5th player who is not a sub, you can get lost in the source of all these rotations. Well, yeah, that's something that we haven't spoken about much, Fluffy. I want to make Silvani regret not coming to the Pies. That's a good call. Yeah, that's it's petty. It's petty, but I don't mind it. Yeah. There you go. Anyhow, guys, I think I'm going to leave it here. I just wanted to pop on and quickly go through the final teams. So we'll be here at 12 p.m. on Sunday for a pre-game show and then the post-game show. And I'm still here, guys. My camera is overheated once again, which is a bit frustrating. Let me just quickly get this. Yeah, we're here. Hello. On the laptop. It's not even that hot, to be honest. But anyways, it's pre-season. It's pre-season. I'll see you guys on Sunday, 12 p.m. pre-game show. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you all. Go.
Champ, that's